Yes, dude. Oh my God, it sounds so good. What is going on, my friends? Welcome back to the channel. We are going to be installing this EJ25 back in this car. So if you didn't see the last video, we pulled this engine out because we thought it had a bent valve. In turn, it still might, but we don't know until we run this thing. So we pulled off the timing covers and this engine was out of time. So we got it back in time, spun it over quite a few times, everything lined up good now. We got everything put back together. It is ready to go back on the car. So now we need to go ahead and hook this up to the engine stand and we can go ahead and drop this motor back in this car. I'm looking for a first start in this video. I hope that comes to fruition. It shouldn't be too hard to get this back in there, get everything bolted up, plug back in. That's pretty much how it is. So let's get this guy on the engine hoist. Let's get it back in this car. I know this isn't the absolute correct way to lift up this engine, but I don't really have any other lifting points with this engine fully dressed. So we're gonna do it the quote-unquote safest way we know how without breaking anything. So this clutch, I don't know if I ever told you guys, I probably did at some point, but this clutch goes 11 foot-pounds in a crisscross pattern. And then final torque is 28 foot-pounds in a crisscross pattern. So what I'm doing is using an inch-pound gun, which is 132 inch-pounds to start. And then whatever 28 foot-pounds is in inch-pounds is what I'll do. Okay, it's pretty centered up. It should be good to go. Let's hope it slides in easily. That's the dream. Alright, so this guy is just about in. We have him pretty much free floating, just have to push him back and tighten the bell housing. But I want to give you a tidbit of information. If you're having troubles getting your engine to like seat up against your bell housing, I want you to try this, because most of the time you can't get in and roll the transmission around to get the splines to line up. So what you should do, in my opinion, this is what I found, you just grab the balancer housing and you give it a couple twists back and forth, and now she's seated up against the bell housing. So that's just enough to get it wiggled around to get the splines free so that everything can go in smooth as butter. Alright, so one thing I didn't show that I think is important is when you're installing these with the transmission in, if you're doing like a full-fledged engine and trans together, it's not really going to be a problem for you. But if your transmission is still in, take a jack underneath the car and put a little pressure right in between the axles. And that will lift the trans enough to have a clean mating surface for the engine to slide on and the dowel pins underneath to go through. Because if you don't, if you just get the top in, the bottoms are going to be wedged and it's going to be a problem. So lift up the trans a little bit so that you can go ahead and slide the engine on. And then tighten down your bell housing bolts, lower down your engine, and then it'll fall right into where your motor mounts need to be, and you'll be good to go. Alright, so from here, it's going to be very smooth sailing. We have 6 more bell housing bolts to put on. That's going to be the first thing we do. 2 motor mount nuts, and then we have power steering, air conditioning, alternator, cooling system, burp it, and we're good to go. All right, my friends, so there you have it. We are just about ready to first start this thing again for the third time. Let me rephrase that. We're just about to third start this thing again. So all we have to do is throw in a battery, plug in the speed density, and just prime the fuel system and the cooling system, and we're good to go. So that's how it's sitting right now. I'm gonna knock out those last few things and then let's hop into this first start real quick. I'm curious to see if that fixed our issue. I'm pretty optimistic that it did. I don't really know for sure, but we're about to find out here in just a second. But like I said, battery, cooling system, and then tighten the AOS, and it's game on. So let me knock out those few things real quick, and then we'll turn the key. All right, well, here goes nothing. After retiming this engine again, let's see if this guy wants to run correctly or if we have to pull this motor again to rebuild some heads. It's alive. Yes, dude. Oh my God, it sounds so good. As you can see, we're smoking. We're just burning off some residual. It's gonna happen. We get this cooling system burped. You know, let this warm up. We're sitting at 43.5 pounds of fuel pressure. Perfect oil pressure, fuel trims are good, coolant temp's rising, battery voltage is fine, boost is good, dam is good, no knock, and it sounds so much better. I'm pumped, stoked, I'm happy. Wow, we did it. Now, we need to take it on a drive. Pray to God everything goes good. But that was our issue, dude. I don't hear any bent valves. Everything sounds relatively good. So let's get this cooling system burped out and let's go on a rip. All right, so as you can hear, it sounds drastically better. It's warmed up now. That clicking is, we're gonna find out when we drive because that's where it was the most prominent, but that clicking was prominent underneath the car as well, and I don't hear it anymore. So I think being a tooth off of timing was that issue right there, but we're gonna find out here in just a second to make sure. However, it started up so much better, perfectly fine, no stumble, it didn't die. Sometimes it would start up and then die, and it didn't do that this time. Everything was perfectly fine. So, no check engine lights, no misfire, no nothing. It sounds good, it sounds healthy, it's running smooth. That's all I can ask for at this point. Now that everything's burning off, we're just about done bleeding this coolant, so we can go ahead, put the radiator cap back on, get this thing out of the garage for the first time in a couple days since we pulled the motor, rebuilt it, and put it back. And then we're gonna go for a rip, and we're gonna see how this thing is, because I'm stoked. I'm more than anxious to see if this problem's actually fixed. It sounds better, so here we go. Alrighty, she's out. She's back running now. She still kind of looks like junk because doing some sanding on the wing and still haven't finished polishing out this side, so it just still kind of looks like crap. But it sounds a lot better than it did. I'm hoping that fixed our issue, but let's go on a drive. I'm gonna put a couple miles on this thing and just really kind of roll through the gears, see how everything feels, and then we're gonna go pretty much make our conclusion from there. All right, so that ticking is still slightly there, so I think it's probably, honestly, I don't know, but it drives so much better. We have no check engine lights. Everything looks good. I think the biggest thing is it just drives phenomenally better. Like, the turbo's spooling correctly, everything is just working as it should. We have great oil pressure. Everything is just solid. It's really as best as I could put it. Everything is solid. Alright, so here's the deal. Everything is running great. That clicking sound is not prominent anymore in the engine. Well, it's not prominent anymore in the engine bay, nor is it prominent in the cab of the car. And we're not pulling any timing. We have no knock. Oil pressure's great. Timing is great. Everything looks good. So I'm here to confidently say I think that was our issue. So now we can go ahead, stack some miles on this. I got a revision from the tuner waiting for me in the email. Once I put some more miles on this, the next video is going to be tuning this car, most likely, and the process that we're gonna go through to tune this thing. So I'm gonna go throw some more miles on it, and we'll catch back up when I get to the house. All right, everybody, well, there we have it. We have finally fixed this engine, I hope. It wasn't pulling any timing. We didn't have any sort of knock, anything like that. The only thing really that I kind of noticed is the tune is a little shaky just because it is a break-in tune. It's just a base mat. It's not meant to be beat on. It's not meant to be, pretty much for the lack of better terms, dogged. So realistically, we should be good to throw some miles on this. I have an appointment today, so I'm going to take this, go throw some miles on it, roll through the gears some more, and really just try and get this thing dialed in. It's absolutely disgusting and dirty right now, so don't pay attention to that. But in the meantime of doing this, I got to get a hold of the tuner. We got to get a revision for this, throw some data logs, and then we're going to change the oil again, probably next video, once I have another 50 miles on it, just to check. I have some AMS oil coming in, since we're done with the conventional VR1 stuff. Throw in some full synthetic, some AMS oil, and really just try and dial in this engine and this power plant and just try to make it worth driving. We're like this close. We have quite a few little things to take care of. They always say the first 90% of the build goes so fast and the last 10% takes the most amount of time because it's the little details. And that's true. This is the little details. As you can see, we have some more sanding to do on the wing. That's all in 800, so we got to get that to 1,000, 1,500, 2,000, 3,000. Get that polished out so it stops looking like junk. And then this side is pretty much ready to go. All these lighter gray spots are 800, which I'm trying to get out this orange peel, which is actually working really well. That's going to be taken care of as well, so that we can go ahead and have a nice looking car again. But with that being said, my friends, I appreciate every single one of you. I'm going to wrap up the video right here. Can't wait for next video. Make sure everything is good to go on this car. Your guys' support means the world. And with that being said, I'll catch you guys in the next video. See ya.